right, shalom, shalom. Call halayimla, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kudash. A double honors to the beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, better known as GMS who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the Tabernacle of David. I'm your brother M.0.T.B from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Melbourne, Australia. And this is going to be a news and prophecy update entitled Another Step Closer to the M.0.T.B. I think I'll title it that, Another Step Closer to the M.0.T.B. All right. And this is by Reuters as of March 26, 2025. And the title reads, Trump signs executive order to modernize Treasury payment system. All right. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, signs executive order to modernize Treasury payment system. Okay. Now, what does that mean? I'm going to play this video, about 3 minutes of it. All right. And this is from Nations Conspired. All right. This is a good channel to subscribe to, Akim. All right. This individual, he brings out a lot of information, alternative news sources that he taps into. All right. And he brings it to the forefront. All right. Sometimes he goes off within his thinking. All right. But once again, take the meat from the bone. All right. Spit the bones out. All right. So what I want to do is, this is fair use. All right. I do not own this video, nor am I making any funding from showcasing this video. This is not my video. All right. I'm just using this for teaching and edification purposes. All right. This is fair use.
This is the Nations Conspire channel. Welcome to today's show. Every single executive order that Donald Trump is putting out there is tying in to the globalist plans. And nobody out there is paying attention, because in between every executive order, like this one about modernizing payments to and from America's bank account, which is all about going cashless, in between every one of those orders, Trump makes sure to fit in an executive order about common sense.
And he's absolutely right. And see, we've been telling Jake that Donald J. Trump is just another puppet. All right. He does not care for our people. And as a matter of fact, all right, the law tells you, you are not to set thy king over yourself who is not of thy own brethren. That's Deuteronomy, the 17th chapter. All right. But see, Jake is learning the hard way since this devil has came into office, really. All right. The elites, they've chose Donald Trump is the perfect Edomite. All right. To usher in the new world order, man, because look at what he's doing on a Richter scale of things since he's came into office. All right. And see, what they're going to hit you with is, as Catherine Austin Fitz once said, what the elites are very good at doing is, not outside of causing distractions, they will always have things separated, whether it be the media, whether it be the PHARM, all right, A, all right, I can't say the word, otherwise they'll clip this video. Whether it be things dealing with the 5G towers and what happened with the pandemic, they try to keep all of those things separate for what's to come, dealing with their enterprise mentioned in Job, the 5th chapter, okay, which ties into their new world order and the M.0.T.B, which is the RFID micro chip. And so Donald Trump is the perfect president being set up in that stead to bring in this new world order, man. All right. And he's doing a hell of a job, bringing in the decay of America, Babylon the Great. All right. From the inside out, man, based upon the executive orders. All right. That he's signing. All right. Almost every single day since being in office, man. And this is no different. And this is basically another step closer to destroying the dollar, because they need to bring in the digital token. All right. They have to bring in a digital society, man, in order for this system to work. All right.
Like in between some of these executive orders about how we're going to go cashless, or how we're going to bring in AI governance and give $500 billion to Oracle and these other companies like NVIDIA so they could build out the World Economic Forum's AI governance. They talk about, hey, here's an executive order that men are men and women are women. We only have two genders. And everybody just applauds. And then when they tell you that we're going to modernize payments and stuff, they just fall asleep because they're going, I don't care about that. Tell me more about common sense. Tell me that men can play men's sports and women can play women's sports, right? Meanwhile, Donald Trump has ordered the end of U.S. government checks in digital disbursements overhaul. That's right. Trump's ordering the federal government towards electronic payments only. He is ending checks, which is another way of saying ending cash and forcing you into electronic payments. And this,
You see, and it's being set up right before our very eyes, man. Okay. I don't see this place going for another 2 to 3 years, because when you look at what's going on with the nations, you look at what NATO is doing, putting $420 million into people stockpiling and trying to get their Navy up to scratch, trying to get their military up to scratch for World War III. OK, and then on top of that, you have the situation with all of the nations going over to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh. All right. They're over there in the Levant region, as said in Joel, the 3rd chapter, OK, which was prophesied to happen. And now you have this situation where Trump is accelerating for the modernization of transactions. All right. Which, when you deal with modernization, I looked it up. OK. And it says here on Google, it says modernization and payments today involves shifting towards digital and alternative payment methods with a focus on speed. Keep that in mind. Convenience and data utilization, including instant payments, BNPL, and open banking, while also addressing global reach and B2B payments. OK, so this is what it means when he's modernizing the federal government's payment system. Basically, what he's going from the old ways of doing things to fast tracking, modernizing the way that they want to use their payments. And basically, that goes into the form of digitalization. OK, which we know that's going to lead to what? That's going to lead to them establishing the CDC system, all right, which is known as the central, the CBD system, which stands for the central banking digital currency. All right. And once they establish the central banking digital currency, that's going to lead to the M.0.T.B. All right. And we're going to show you, we're going to prove it. But now let's get back to the video.
this is all about artificial intelligence governance. Right in front of our faces, they are telling us that, this is a dated system, right? Years ago, that we said that Trump was going to get rid of checks, which really means cash in a sense, right? Because now, instead of getting a check for the government, everything's got to be done electronically. They'll make a few exceptions, they claim. But of course, we know, just like they're supposed to make religious exemptions, they refuse those things. And they'll refuse this. They'll force people into this if they want any type of payment from the government. That means Social Security, disability, anything along those lines, right? And while that's happening, keep an eye on Doge, because Doge wants more online identity verification. And Elon Musk and Doge have been involved in discussions about a digital ID.
Now, have a look at this. It says Elon Musk and his company Doge have been involved in discussions about digital identity and access to government data. Musk has been involved in building a digital ID registry, according to a post on X. And the White House and Congress have considered creating a limited digital ID platform for public benefit programs. So you see where this is going. All right. So when you talk about public benefit programs, whether it be Section 8, whatever else they have, it's going to come down that, if they reopen that, they're going to say, hey, you want this handout, you're going to have to take this CHIP, man, in order to be a part in society to receive those benefits, man. And see, when you can see how this is going to play out, Majority of our people, they're going to yield, and they're going to take that chip, man. They're going to take that CHIP. This is why the Lord said to separate yourself from this society, because see, we're going to have to step out on faith. Because when this all comes down and the comfort of how you're living right now is pulled from right under beneath you, what are you going to rely on in that day? You're going to have to make a choice. You either going to have to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and step out on full faith, or you're going to rely and trust in the shadow of Egypt. And it's going to be to your own demise, and it's going to be to your own destruction.
Access to government data. Musk has been involved in building a digital ID registry, according to a post on X. The White House and Congress have considered creating a limited digital ID platform for public benefit programs. And this is all about cashless society, digital ID, control grid. At the same time of all this stuff, Trump's exciting all the people that they made temporarily rich with their crypto scam by backing crypto banks and stablecoin. And really, this is a war on the dollar, even though they won't tell you yet that it's a war on the dollar, and it's heading towards a cashless society. Donald Trump is bringing in every single New World Order initiative right in front of everybody. And I said, this is why people need to pay attention to how they're wording things.
And remember, Aaron Russo, all right, which I may end up putting in post-production after this lesson so that you can see, all right, because here at Great Millstone, we prove all things, man. And Aaron Russo, all right, he pretty much said, is it Aaron Russo? Let me see. Let me just fact check what I'm saying. Let me see here. Let's type in. Yes. All right, Salaki, I just had to fact check what I'm saying. All right, let's get a better image of him. This guy right here. This individual, Aaron Russo, okay, was the same guy who was a friend of one of the Rockefellers. And he said that that particular Rockefeller that he met with on multiple occasions told him the end game or the end goal is to have everyone micro C-hipped when it's all said and done. All right. And I will showcase the video in the post-production. All right. Proving. All right. Well, what he said. All right. And I believe this guy that Aaron is next to is Nicholas Rockefeller. I could be wrong, but I believe that's him. All right. So, yeah, the apostles of Great Millstone, once again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, they were 144% correct in terms of prophecy. All right. And this is going to lead to the M.0.T.B. We keep telling you, man. All right. Hey, the scripture says, all right, let's get Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right. And it says, verse 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And that's us, the servants, the prophets, beginning with the apostles, the bishops, and elders on down. OK, we are the watchmen for the house of Israel, and we're standing upon our watch. All right, knowing the state of our flocks to let Jake know the times that we're in and what's what's coming upon us, man. And we're telling you these things. All right. You see, here at GMS Great Millstone and our affiliates, we're really the main camp, OK, of brothers. All right, where we go into these things. We take the current events that are going on across the four corners of the earth, and we link it to biblical prophecy so that we can warn you what's to come. It says, verse 2, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Now, when you go into this word run, okay.
Strong's H 7323. Roots.
And you come down here to Strong's definition. It says to run for whatever reason, especially to rush and to break down. OK, this is why we break down the scriptures. All right. It also says divide speedily. All right. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved. Okay. Rightly dividing the word of truth, roughly paraphrasing in so many words. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, Salakia. It says, footman, guard, bring hastily. All right. This is why so many videos are going up for a lot of the Akim and Great Millstone, man. Okay. And even though there's a lot going on, okay, like even myself, there's so many stuff that, to go into, I can't keep up with everything, but you may have another brother who's able to go into those things and tap in, man. And we are all one body at the end of the day. So if you may have missed something, guess what? You can, rest assured that another brother is going to cover it, because we're making haste upon our posts, man. We're bringing these things out and we're breaking it down. Okay. That's what it means. Here's the point, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Okay. Though it tarry, wait for it. Yeah, because it seemed like it's taking its time. But guess what? Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah said, just be patient, because it's going to come. It says, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So this vision that has been set for an appointed time is going to come. And now that we are able to see it clearly, putting two to two together, okay, the vision is speaking, man. It's speaking. Okay, let's get some more.
And how they're deliberately manipulating things by telling you that they're going to do this, but not making a big deal about it, then making a big deal about how there's two genders. And that's the national news story, not about how all these payments are now going to go digitally, right? Here's Donald Trump signing that executive order saying this should have been done a long time ago.
Next, sir, we have an executive order for your attention relating actually to government payments. Historically, checks issued by the Treasury are, I believe, 14 times more likely to become the subject of fraud than electronic transfer payments. This is an executive order that's going to push the Treasury Department to modernize its payment system to ensure that where possible they're using electronic methods of payment as opposed to paper checks in order to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, which is obviously an endeavor that we've been pursuing in numerous aspects of government under your leadership.
Now, the key part he said in there, all right, this is in an executive order. Now, does not the scripture say that he strengthened himself within the law? Let's grab that real quick. Let's get, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon 2:11. All right, Wisdom of Solomon 2:11, it says, let our strength be the law of justice. This is speaking of the wicked. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. You see? And they strengthen themselves within the law. The things that they bring out. Here it is. Elder Malcolm from GMS Chicago always brings out that these devils, they'll make up laws as they go, right? To try to always have one over Jake. But then when they get caught out against their own law, they'll end up changing it. All right. This is why the scriptures always says, when you get Psalms, the 73rd chapter. All right. In verse 5, it says they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. All right. Because when it comes down to it, give you an example. There was an article that came out today, and not to digress, but just want to hit the point on the head of a man that was accused of unaliving 23 people. Just been found to get off. He just got off the death penalty. This was an Edomite. But let that would have been a Jake that just went on a rampage. That Jake would have got a death penalty, man. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it means when it says that they are not in trouble as other men, which brings me to my next point. Going back to Wisdom of Solomon 2:11. Let's get Isaiah 10:1. And it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And this is a work that the elites have prescribed. OK, and what they do is they just give it on to whoever is president, OK, or a prime minister. All right. And they just sign in what the elites want. It's not so much Donald Trump wanted this. No, man. This has already been prescribed, man, because this is the end game for the elites. And you have to learn how to read between the lines.
It's basically modernization of equipment and methods, and it's something that really I think he's going to be a great Secretary of the Treasury wanted, Scott, and so we're doing this, and we have other modernization programs going on. We could let somebody else, whoever's next, whoever that may be, do it, but it's something that should have been done 25, 30 years ago.
Now, notice he said it's something that should have been done 25, 30 years ago. The reason why they say that is because you had a man by the name of Yuval Harari who went out and said that the technology, let me see if I can find that real quick. Salakia, bear with me. All right, let's see. Let's open up a new tab. Let's get YouTube, because I want to keep that video. And let's see if we can pull that up. Yuval. Let me see. Might have to type it in. It says, and Salakia, bear with me, because he said it in an interview. If I can't find it, it's all good. But he said in so many words that past rulers did not have the technology, whereas we today, they have the technology. That's what he said in so many words. I'll know it when I see it, but yeah, nah. I might be wording it differently. Here it is. I think this might be it. Let me see.
Throughout human history, you're always influenced by your friends, your family, the culture around, and much of what people took to be their innermost desires and expectations, it actually came from outside. We are increasingly acquiring technologies that enable external agents, whether corporations or governments or whatnot, to really hack the human mind and hack the human brain and manipulate us in ways which were never possible before, which makes it's even more urgent than ever to really get to know yourself. You may not have the time to get to know yourself because you're too busy, but there are people who have the time and the money to get to know you. Their entire business model is based on that. If they get to know you a little better than you know yourself, game over.
You hear this, devil? Now, the key point, let me take it back here.
Agents, whether corporations or government or whatnot, to really hack the human mind and hack the human brain and manipulate us in ways which were never possible before.
That part. Now, there's another video. This video really doesn't do enough justice, but there's another video where he said, because he said it the same way but differently. He said, when he says that which were never possible before, meaning in a different interview when he was on stage, he said that back then the past rulers, Salakia, they didn't have the technology. So they were incapable of being able to tap into hacking humans. And when he says hack humans, meaning to supplant them with the what they call, or what he likes to call, surveillance under the skin, which is going into the micro C-hip. All right. They didn't have that back then. But now they have, he's boasting that they have the technology now to be able to achieve, okay, what past rulers were not able to achieve. Okay, that's the point that I'm trying to get at. So now, yeah, we can get rid of that. Let me see, get any more of this. All right, so that was signed on March 25th, right? So now let's close this out. All right, because we understand. Let's get Revelation 13. All right, 16 on down. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, the word mark, as we all know, goes into the Greek word charagma, which when you look it up, a graving image, or really it means to in an incision. All right, to be marked, to be stamped, to be pricked. Right. But the point dealing with this, how this micro C hip, which is the actual mark itself, which will be implanted into you, lets us know that it's going to be a physical mark and not a spiritual one. It's in the very next verse, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. The key part in this is the buy or sell part. Now, if you in a blue letter, you go to text commentaries, and I went to the scholar John Brown, all right, and I looked up his wording here, all right. One, because it goes into Dr. Sanders being the person who created the C hip. But here, all right, where it talks about the no one may buy or sell, it says we are moving. Let me see here. We are moving from credit cards to debit cards to the smart card coming out of France. Our current presidency has mentioned several times that it is a terrible waste to have so many cards when it could all been done with one card, right? They setting the stage. Now, let me see here. If I can I'm just going to skim through this. It says it is very possible that this process will go from the smart card to the personal implant CHIP. You see that? Now, let me see here, because I want to skim through this. Let's see here. I think I went too far down. But when you get, let me see, because it talks about the economy. All right. That's not it. Let me see. I just seen it earlier. Salakia Akim, give me 1 second. Let me see, because it talks about this being of the economy, right? But let's see here. This might be, is that what I want? Okay, might be around here. So it says the charagma, which goes into character and expression, the exact expression, the image of any person or thing, marked likeness, precise reproduction in every respect, facsimile. This micro C hip has exactly that, and an express image of its recipient. All right. That's why he said, Yuval Harari, if they can hack you, you don't have time to know yourself. All right. But with this technology, you can get that. You have the ability to know yourself, right? In so many words. Recently, under the new healthcare program, they are talking about the womb-to-womb positive identification. There are bills before Congress right now and others that have been passed that will allow for a micro C hip of identification to be injected into your child at the time of birth. The president was given this authority and control under the Immigration Control Act, Section 100 in 1986. All right. But let's see here, because this goes into the CHIP. which, let me see. Because, see, they know that this is going into, from an economic standpoint, they already know that. Just want to see if there's anything else so that we're not missing. I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah, there you know, this is what it's come down to. All right. And yeah, this is where we at, you know. And again, if you can't see it, then that's on you. Now, it might be, let me get this in David Guzik. We'll get one more. David Guzik, because he goes into it too. And it might have been with them too, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Yeah, here it is right here. This is probably the one I originally wanted. It says, since the ancient Greek word for mark, charagma, isn't generally applied to people, some have taken this as a symbolic mark, IUIC, but a literal mark needed to buy or sell is certainly conceivable and practical. The technology to give people a mark that enables them to buy and sell in the electronic economy is available. OK, that's why Trump said that this should have been done 25 to 30 years ago. But see, 25 to 30 years ago, they didn't have the technology. Now we're in the age where they have that technology. It says there are many different ways it could happen, and such programs, keyword, are proposed and tested constantly, which brings us back to what? Modernization. OK, modernization of these programs, these digital programs. You see? So you can see from there it's all coming together. All right. And this is a beautiful time we're living in, man. All right. And call Halayim Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for revealing these things unto us, man. You see? So let's close out with this precept in Ecclesiastes. No, we're going to get Ezekiel 33 and 33. And it says, when this cometh to pass, because everything we've been telling you from the apostles on down, all right, when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. And a lot of you Jakes, you're going to know. OK, you're going to know that a prophet have been among you. You're going to know that the prophets were there. OK, but you despise the words of the Heavenly Father, as mentioned in Proverbs, the 1st chapter. You wanted none of his reproof. You set at naught his counsel, man. And a lot of you Jakes are going to get caught up out there. You're not going to have no trust in the Heavenly Father through his son, Yahweh Shai. And so you're going to trust in the shadow of Egypt. You're going to take that micro C hip, man. All right. So I'm going to leave it off there. I just wanted to bring this out. And Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakaha Kodash. And double honors to the beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, better known as GMS, who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect, the Tabernacle of David. All right. And stay tuned for that post-production of Aaron Russo. Shalom.